Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the Tatiana Show here on Tuesday, December 1st, 2015. I'm broadcasting to you from my luxurious digs here in Venice, California. I'm on a little trip. There's an entertainment and the blockchain event here tonight, if anybody can come out. It's a meetup at 7 o'clock in the Hollywood area. So if you go to my website, tatianarose.com, you can find out all about it. I'm excited to have my good friend on, Josh from Voltoro. Josh, welcome to the show.
G'day, g'day. It's lovely to be back, of course. Another week of exciting news and entertainment and price volatility in the old Bitcoin space.
I know. I was just watching the price fall. It was like 380 yesterday. Now it's 362, and then it was 361.
Woo! Price up and down.
No, it's down. The down part is what I'm not really enjoying.
It's horrible. You have to hedge your Bitcoin in gold.
Ah, nice, a nice plug there. So part of the reason why I'm in California is also because I'm going to be heading down to the Latin American Bitcoin conference where Rodolfo Andragnes is hosting, along with a lot of my good friends from the Latin American crew. So we'll be bringing him on in just a few minutes. We could talk a little bit about Bitcoin in Latin America.
Very important.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's a really great area to see Bitcoin work its magic, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the true use case.
Yeah, absolutely. So we also have some show notes just about the news that we kind of wanted to talk about today. So I know that Connie Galippi, the founder and executive director of BitGive, is doing Giving Tuesday, and they have sort of an initiative to use the donations for their Bitcoin Charity 2.0. The plan is to create a transparency platform for donors and organizations using the blockchain for philanthropy. I'm not really sure how that engages with BitGive. I guess with the Giving Tuesday. I guess people are trying to donate toward that kind of effort to make accountability and philanthropic efforts more available to people.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, well, I think it's a really good time to be doing it. You know, the holidays, people are already thinking about this stuff. But I was telling my mom the other day about Bitcoin charities, and she started raging against how charities, they don't use their money for charitable donations. And I guess this would help people understand that a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, imagine a charity where you can follow the money. It's magnificent, and it's really important because this is the whole thing that stops a lot of people donating is when they give to all this money. The first thing that stops them is, well, government deals with that. Government should, give to that thing. But if you're really into the free market and you think, well, I should be helping this or this organization or these people, but what are they spending it on expensive Italian furniture, or are they actually giving it to the cause that you're donating to? And with Bitcoin, you can really see it through the blockchain. So I think the use case for that is enormous and beautiful.
Well, one of the things that Connie had pointed out to me at one point, though, which I think could be a little bit of a hiccup in this type of process, is there's a TED video. I wish I knew exactly the name of the guy, but he basically talks about how in charities you do have to spend money on marketing, you do have to spend money on administration in order to attract the best talent. Just like you wouldn't have a regular company and not have any kind of advertising or anything like that, you kind of need the same thing with charities in order to gain attention. You do need to spend that money to make the money. But
yeah,
and I thought that was something I never considered.
But you've got to you can show that up front, right? So you can show, oh, look, this charity, we're going to spend this much on this much and this much on these different things. And to be able to see the difference between other charities and go, well, that charity is spending, $100,000 on marketing, whereas your charity is only spending $50,000. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Maybe you think that's a bad thing. Maybe you like the charity that's spending more on marketing because it means they're getting more input. Or, I think it all equals out once it's public and once you get this this marketplace of charities being open. I think it's a really positive application of the blockchain and Bitcoin.
Yeah, well, in general, I always think that that charity around this time of year and linking it back to Bitcoin is good, but this is actually adding value to the community beyond just saying, oh, we're so nice, we do charitable stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool. Do you know how the sales were for Bitcoin Black Friday? I didn't pay attention. I know the price obviously spiked over the weekend, but I didn't see if the sales were any good. So we'll have to figure that out at some point.
Yeah, I think that's something we might need for the next show.
Uh, West Virginia University's student government is debating whether to use a blockchain-based voting platform for its upcoming elections. The student-run newspaper reported, I guess, right? They've got all the latest news. But people want to use iPad apps to vote for student body president and vice president as opposed to traditional voting machines, which at first it's like, okay, who cares? It's like some student body president in some random college. But I think that I can't imagine that governments are going to be using the blockchain right away for voting. So I think these smaller use cases are a step in the right direction. It's good that the kids are actually even aware of it, because maybe they could push for it later on, you know. It's sort of a youth currency to begin with, to a certain extent.
Yeah, definitely. Registering, giving every single user one private key to sign a vote, and then through a smart contract, this could then extinguish that to be able to be used again, but you could tell if it's used again anyway. So yeah, I think it's a great use case, and like you said, maybe it needs to be tested on these smaller, not so important cases than a true election.
Well, I don't know. I don't really. I was talking with the guys over at Follow the Vote this week, and I have a friend, Rosa, who does stuff with Clearvoter, and that kind of builds communities around different political candidates, and kind of helps express ideas about what the public is thinking, and holding the politicians accountable. So even though I'm not really yay voting, I do think that there's something to be said for at least having the voting process be a lot more accurate. I just don't know how eager the power holders will be to have accurate voting, because obviously that benefits them. So I don't know, but for people knowing that exists, I think that could put pressure on the government to adopt these kinds of things. But I don't know, it might be a little bit too complicated for people, especially if you start talking about smart contracts and stuff like that. I guess if you maybe took that language out of it, it wouldn't be needed. But there is something nice about making people learn and piquing their curiosity with this kind of thing, with using that language. So
I'd love to hear Rodolfo his opinion on that down in Latin America, because
all right. So do we want to bring Rodolfo on and he can chat with us? I think there was one other thing in the news where we were going to talk about terrorists and their use of Bitcoin. But yeah, why don't we bring Rodolfo on and we'll bring him into the conversation. Rodolfo, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you, Shasha.
Lovely to see you.
Josh is definitely jealous, because next week you have the Latin. Oh no, it's this week already.
Yes.
Friday
3
and
days
Saturday.
from now.
Yeah, the Latin American Bitcoin Conference. This is the third official one. I was at the first one in Buenos Aires, but last year I missed the one in Brazil, which I was kind of disappointed about. But this year it's in Mexico City, which I've heard is a very vibrant, culturally rich city. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the conference?
Well, yes, actually this is the third one, as you say. Every year we get more attention and traction, yes, and even from speakers. This year we have about 50 speakers coming down to Mexico. Yes, it's enormous for us. All with this kind of conference is done all by how you say it?
Volunteers.
Yes, it's all done by volunteers. Yes, and so for us it's a very good move. Mexico is a very vibrant, as you say, city, and it's one of the main destinations of remittances, yes, from USA. So it's also attractive, and it's very big in the sense of entrepreneurship. Yes, they are one of the biggest entrepreneurships hubs in Latin America too. So, and there is also a lot of interest from the governments and from the banking sector. So we're mostly aiming this conference in these 2 days. The first day aimed to the financial sector, and the second day aimed to the entrepreneurial sector. Yes, even though it's useful for anyone both days. Yes, we like set the topics thinking on that. No? So yes, it will be a very interesting and fun conference. Yes, we're also doing some fun stuff as we always do. We try to mix culture and Bitcoin at every place we go. Yes, in Buenos Aires, in Rio de Janeiro, and now in Mexico. So it's not only for people traveling down, it's not only about Bitcoin, but it's also about enjoying the space or the place where we are staying. Yes, we are very near the pyramids and stuff like that here in Mexico. So it will be really nice and fun, and you, Tatiana, who is one of the speakers, you will really enjoy it too.
Well, that's one of the things that I really like about the Latin American Bitcoin Conference, the first one, the Argentinian one, was that we all went around and did stuff together, you know, and we got to experience the city, and it wasn't just sitting around talking about Bitcoin all day, which I love you guys, but gets a little bit exhausting.
Yeah.
And seeing the use case. Now, I know that Bitcoin has done really well in Argentina. How has it done in Mexico City? Are there a lot of regular users, or how does that work over there?
Actually, it's strange. Here they have a smaller community. Yes, actually, it must be like 1/3 or 1/2 of our community, but the people working down here, yes, the guys from XBT, the guys from Bitso, they're really doing a very good work in talking with government and talking with banking, and I really see them really active. So I would expect that it's something that is being actually boiled right now. No, it's like they're setting down the basis to the groundwork. Yes, they're doing really a good groundwork, and I would expect to see a lot of good things coming out from Mexico. And this is something I realized coming down here. No, I mean, from Argentina, you just have some ideas of what's happening down in Mexico, but once I've been here and I've seen all the things and stuff that they are doing, I really see them moving very, very hard and very focused on getting adoption and also on getting the word spread. No, so I'm really well impressed about what's being done here in Mexico.
Josh, what do you think about that? Are you jealous that you're not coming?
I'm extremely jealous. I'm starting to look more and more white and pasty over here in Berlin with no sun and just cold, wet, sludgy rain. So yes, I'm extremely jealous. But saying that, you know, I'd love to Skype in and maybe buy someone a beer with Bitcoin, you know, over the airways. That would be fun.
Well, you guys have to get a European conference going.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, I think we will be doing live streaming from the conference, and perhaps we might do some Periscope for the fun stuff that we have planned too. Yes, we're going to see. Let me put this on. Yes, we're going to see Lucha Libre. I don't know if someone knows about this.
Yeah, can people bet with Bitcoin?
I don't know. We could do an internal betting platform just for this. And we are also having some mariachis and stuff like that.
Wait, are we going to see wrestlers?
Yes, we're going to see wrestlers. If you need to fill in the Google form that we sent, but yes, we're going to see wrestlers. Wow. And then we're going to a Bizard antro, it's called here, but it's like a dancing place, yes? And people wear strange robes and stuff like that, yes, so it will be really fun.
Wow.
I'd love to ask, what's it like when, you know, in places like Argentina, where you hear constant, you know, news articles, and I never really trust news, you know, I trust independent bloggers down the...
You do very well.
Yeah, and so it's always interesting to hear these stories where, you know, you see people are buying computers to hedge the inflation, and stuff like that, because sometimes the you know, inflation can be so huge that computers devalue slower or something like that. I mean, how much nonsense is there, and what is the inflation rate down in Argentina?
Well, there's an Argentina of the last 12 years, or eventually of the last 8 years, and there's an Argentina for the next 4 years. Yes, we just had a presidential election. Yes, and actually it's like the other side that won right now. So there's an expectation to have a lower inflation and more open to international to international investment and to being able to send money abroad and stuff like that. Yes, today we have capital controls. We can't move dollars into the country or buy dollars even. Yes, at least on the formal market. Yes, there's always a black market for everything. Laws are useless to avoid things to happen. No, it just makes them difficult, but not avoids them. So for the last years, I would say we had around an average of 30-35% inflation. Yes, this is a yearly inflation.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, but we had like over 300% inflation in 1980s. So we're sort of used to this, and it's not as hard as it sounds. Yes, people just know it's that way, and they're just waiting when their income also pairs with the inflation again, like increments of their income.
Do items like that don't sell very well have like constant extra stickers on top of sticker on top of sticker where the prices have changed over the, if it's sitting on the shelf for a year?
It tends to happen, but not as much actually. I mean, you will tend to see like every 2 months, 3 months, some increments. Yes, and in different industries. It's not that everybody increments in the same at the same moment. For example, I have a college. Yes. And we do just one increment in the year. It's a 30% increment, and that's it. Yes, and we do it in May, and so people knows that. But in general, in March or April, most of the people gets a raise in their incomes. So it's like a stuff that you live with it, but it's not as complicated as it seems from outside. Yes, though it makes you. I mean, the money that you have, it's valueless. No, I mean, you have a 30% less money if you kept it in pesos. So people tend to buy dollars in the black market eventually. Or some. It's not as you read in the pumped newspapers about Bitcoin, but some people also buys Bitcoin as a way of saving money. No.
And what about traditional things like precious metals or even going more abstract?
There's also a black market for those kind of things. I mean,
really, actually, when the black market.
Yes, but because when your actual currency is losing value, yes, when you have inflation, it's not the currency is losing value, but it's not losing value. It's losing against other stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's losing against the dollar. It's losing against the gold. It's losing against. That's the way that's why it loses, because you're willing to give more pesos in exchange of the same dollar. So if suddenly you're willing to give a 30% more of pesos for $1, the peso is losing value. It's not that the peso is different. It's always 10 pesos, 100 pesos. But now you're willing to give more pesos in exchange of the same $1 that you had before. So as a country, they need to avoid people willing to trade pesos for something else. So
I saw in the news one shopping center. Is this all across most shopping centers where you have to give a thumbprint to prove that you haven't bought the same amount? You're only allowed to buy a certain amount of stuff from a.
No, you have this kind of thing that you can buy more than 2 or 3 stuffs, but that's mostly for certain kind of certain things that you buy, but not big things. Yes, in the supermarket, for example, that are specially underpriced. Yes, but it's not something I haven't heard or not even read at least in Buenos Aires, perhaps in Venezuela, that could be a much more a much more common thing. But in Argentina, I haven't heard about any.
See, this is the thing with these mainstream media. You know, they make it look like CNN. You turn CNN on and you see pictures of people thumbprinting at the checkout, and you think, what is going on in these places?
Never heard it.
Oh man, it's just so typical. Honestly, I'm throwing my television out the window. I should have done it years ago. In fact, I didn't have a TV for like, I don't know, 15 years, and I worked in television.
But that's why live shows are great.
Yeah, absolutely. And the internet, I mean, it truly is an amazing step forward in information and truth, or getting closer to a variance of truth, to understand different opinions as well, to not just have this one, yeah, I saw it on CNN, it's truth. But nowadays we, talk to people like yourselves and get some feet on the ground and actual real people dealing with real issues.
Every kind of centralization gives some sort of power of saying the truth that you want to say, no? So and building the truth and whatever. So internet actually it's this tool that allows us to be the communicators and to be the decentralized and to choose. And I mean, actually, yes, internet is the very best big thing that has happened.
Absolutely glorious, isn't it? And anybody that wants to rain on a parade so grand and beautiful by putting in censorships and all this stuff really needs to be shameful, and people need to be wary of people that want to censor things, all under the name of, I don't know.
Just don't worry, because truth and trust always flows into some other ways. I mean, even if you put barriers, yes, there's the market or the people or whoever will always find a way, yes, to move towards what they really need or want or feel. It's like all that are all only barriers, yes, but I think at last the good things succeed, yes.
Well, one thing that I find with the news, though, is that, yeah, we have the independent news, which is great, but sometimes I feel like it's very hard to vet the independent news as well. And while on the one hand it's good for people to have more responsibility, it's also not very feasible always to be able to say, okay, this headline is from not a reputable source, because there's so many alternative media options, and I think that's great. But I guess there are certain projects being built to help filter that through, but I'm not really sure how soon they are down the pipeline, and also, I don't know. I don't know exactly how they work.
But actually,
it's a good point.
No, Josh.
Oh, I was just quickly going to say, I think it's a great point, and it comes, having all this alternative media and all these different opinions. You also have to weigh that with the amount of trust that you give it. I think it's just a normal human thing of saying, oh, I really trust this person, or I really enjoy the way they express the story of whatever their truth is. But yeah.
The only thing I can say is that I've been in the newspaper, I don't know, 5, 6, 8 times, yes, and I never felt that they wrote what I intended to say, or nor my specific words, nor nothing. So and that happens to my articles. That are small articles about irrelevant stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
So just imagine about all the other stuff that I read in the newspaper. That it's exactly not the way that it was intended, not the way it happened, not the way. It's just they're commercial or not commercial. I mean, they might have good intentions. Yes, but it's not the truth. I mean, the truth is out here. It's the life, and it's different sources, and perhaps one is not the truth, but you have another source that says other thing, and you are intelligent enough, or not, I'm sorry, to understand which is the truth, or to build your own truth. I mean, it's that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, are journalists really being held to the same standards? Because some journalists are being rewarded for towing the party line and reporting propaganda, right? And then you've got all these citizen journalists who don't really have any training in journalism, and they just have like way too much opinion. So I don't know. I don't know like where you get those standards from and how you implement that. But at least we have some options. I mean, at least it's not two television shows. I had posted something on Facebook the other day saying that, you know, Putin's starting to look not that bad. And it was a really interesting discussion on my page because it was a lot of emotional response to that. But then, you know, once you started getting, like, the perception in America is that, oh, well, Putin's saying some good things, right? But apparently they have their own propaganda window over there, and it's really not as hunky-dory as they say. So I think that getting news from people on the ground, especially with, you know, my libertarian slant, hearing it from Vera Kichinova, who's an activist in Moscow, and her experiences, because she's liberty-minded as well. So she was kind of telling people about what was happening over there. I mean, you can go to jail for being gay. It's kind of a big mess over there, but you wouldn't necessarily know that from Russia Today, America, which is their American branch of RT, where it seems like Russia is becoming more free than the United States, which I guess isn't true either. So everybody's got their own propaganda going, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a similar story. I was working in television graphics, and next to me was the newsroom during the invasion of Iraq, and I remember all this propaganda coming from our newsroom, you know, all these fun stories. But because of Google News, I was actually reading newspapers, PDF newspapers from newspapers in Iraq and seeing their side of the story. And it was really interesting, and you know, getting story. And in these newspapers would be like a little story about a woman that's just, you know, her story of university, and that she's just got a new university degree and all this stuff, and fell in love by the fountain. You know, these sort of just stories of, and you think, God, that's just normal life. Like, you know, it grounds it into normality again, having the other side of a story. And I think this is what the internet enables you to do, is to see people as people and not people as just this sort of abstract enemy, especially during war times. But yeah, when it comes to general economic understanding, I think you know, without the internet, the concept of what is money, a simple thing like that, which, you know, it turns out not to be very simple at all, is totally abstracted, but because of the internet, you can educate yourself and go, wow, this is really fascinating, and I didn't know that this stuff that I've got in my pocket and how it's created and where it comes from. So it's, yeah.
I think that we are yet in the old in the old era of big centralization, but I think we're coming into the new decentralization era. So I would expect this is just time, and I really, it's not that I don't care, but it's okay. It will take some time, but I think that decentralization and self-choosing and stuff like that will change all the stuff that we are talking about, and all this. I mean, millennials, when they get old, yes, they won't buy the same stuff that old people is buying from the TV or from the newspapers. I mean, it's just a matter of time, and that's also with Bitcoin. It's just a matter of time for me. It's not if today, tomorrow, or next year. I think that all the things that are being proposed right now, yes, on the blockchain and on the centralization and stuff, it has to do with time, yes, and so for me, it's not even useful to discuss, yes, right now, if this is something that should be changed. It will change. The good will always find its way, and stuff. And I don't know. It's
yeah. It's pretty hard to keep a room. It's pretty hard to keep a room totally dark. You know, any little gap lets a light in, and that's.
You can have China avoiding people watching other newses, that the ones that they want, but there's always Tor, and there's always people that really cares, and they will always find a way, and they will start sharing individually and by other ways. So and finally it will fall. Yes, the big barricades, the big walls will fall. Yes, and there will always be the good will always find its way. That's how I feel. My way
Hooray!
of thinking.
Well,
So, let me just go back to what you said about Galipi's project. Yes,
Oh
mhm.
yeah.
I just wanted to recall something that we're hosting during the conference, an auction. Yes, of a unique comic book. I don't know if you heard or read about the Bitcoin comic book.
Yes,
Yes,
I've
Yeah.
signed it. It's really
but
cool.
I want to
yes,
sign
and
it.
it's been I'm sorry, it's been signed already by over 100 hand signed. Yes, by over 100 pioneers in Bitcoin.
Amazing.
And I actually think that's a unique art or a unique piece for any Bitcoiner, yes, in the world. Perhaps we have even Satoshi signing it eventually. I mean, who knows? Yes, I think Nick Szabo have signed the book, and so I think that auction should be really great. Actually, it's been. I think there's 3 BTC already auctioned for it, bidded for it. Yes, but we expect to get more, more from it because it's a really good, project. I think this comic book. I think it will be a unique piece, absolutely. And
Oh,
sorry, and all the proceedings
definitely.
goes to this project of making a more transparent donation platform.
Oh
By
wow. Really?
so that, yes.
I wonder how Connie is getting her developers. I wonder if people are donating their time or how that's working. I'll have to ask her. I know she'll be speaking at the conference, so a bunch of my friends, Andreas is coming, Pamela Morgan is coming, so that'll be really, I don't know, I'm really, really pumped. And now that I
Yeah.
know that we're going to go see some Mexican wrestling, I'm over the moon.
Look at your face shine.
I'm
Look.
really excited about it.
And you will enjoy Patrick Miller's dancing face. You
Instructions?
will enjoy.
I'm not a very
Yes.
good dancer, but I
No,
can,
no, no. But it's not about us going to dance. It's about us enjoying what we will see there.
Are you
I,
going to
I
start
haven't gone,
trading?
yes, but that's what they said. They told me. Sorry,
Tatiana, you better
Josh, you're
start trading.
booking a ticket right now. Sorry,
Oh, yep, yep. Oh,
plane ticket. You
but
said?
no, I can't wait to see Tatiana in the ring with her guitar. You know.
yes.
Yeah.
I think I
On
need
the
my
right
own to
side,
leave right now.
Tatiana Moros.
Well, I was speaking with Carlos Blanco, who helps out with the
Yeah.
conferences sometimes, and he was asking me to learn the Bitcoin jingle in Spanish. That was going to be my goal, but I failed. No one could help me translate it, and it's a little bit difficult since I don't speak Spanish um, to get the pronunciation right, but maybe next time. I am bringing my guitar, so that'll be really fun. Hey, Rodolfo, is there a pool at the hotel or no? I've been wondering.
Actually, I think there's not a pool at the hotel.
That's okay. We'll
Sorry,
still we'll
Tatiana.
still get to sit around outside and play some guitar together and have a good little hang, I think.
Yes, yes. But yes, I think I actually don't remember right now, but I think it's not. No, no.
So
They have a very nice terrace anyway.
so if someone wants to buy a ticket, how do they buy a ticket and how do they
They go
get
to the
involved?
laBITconf.com and they just book it with bitcoins or with credit card.
Okay.
Fantastic. So
So
come
let's
on,
say that
everyone.
well, wait. We have to pick the magic word. So maybe the magic word will be LA conf CONF. So LA space BIT space conf as the magic word for today. And then this way people will remember
Yeah. Yeah.
their Latin roots.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Cool.
Thanks. That's great.
Yeah, fantastic. And so that's coming up. What other exciting things? Because you just seem to be involved in so many projects.
Yes, I
Um,
am.
what else are you doing?
Well, actually, I'm one of the co-founders of the Bitcoin Argentina NGO. Yes, who is mostly the coordinator of all this stuff. Yes, that we're doing down here, and we are also We also have a 500 square meter building in the middle of the financial district in Buenos Aires called Bitcoin Center. It's very nice, really nice, well set place with a co-working space and about eight businesses also with their own specific room. I don't know how to say it,
Wow.
sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a very good terrace with parrilla and asado barbecues. So and lots of art, and we do also some music shows and live jams and stuff like that. It's really nice, a really nice place to hang out. And if you're coming down to Argentina, you need to come down to the Bitcoin Center. Yes, it's a great place.
Can someone buy and sell Bitcoin there? Can someone, if they needed to get Bitcoin?
Actually, we don't buy and sell Bitcoins there.
Okay.
But that has more to do with Argentina. Until today, at least, Argentina laws. Yes, we are not sure if buying or selling is a good thing. So we just try to avoid to put in that center, yes, something that might be bad seen by the government. So it's like a more like keeping the place safe, yes.
Yeah.
And whoever wants to buy Bitcoins, there's plentiful ways to buy them anyway.
Oh, is it? What ways? I mean, I guess the online exchanges.
Yes, but you have, for example, Ripio. You can go to many kiosks and buy Bitcoins from
Are there
there.
ATMs?
Yes. Actually, we don't have ATMs. We have just one or two, I think. But again, it's like most of the things are not being done like very widely expressed, stuff like that. But you have this. You have Satoshi Tango, Bitex, Ripio, Pagos, yes, Satoshi Tango. You have Unisend. I mean, there are lots of ways of buying and you have a very big community also. So most of the people just buys and sells in person, no? Not through local Bitcoins, but just in person. They go to the Facebook and say, hey, I want to buy here, I want to sell, and you can buy 20, 30, 50 Bitcoins easily.
And what about something like Mycelium? Is that popular with the local trader?
No.
Why would you bring up Mycelium? What's so special about Mycelium in the first place, other than Dima is cool?
Why are you selling Mycelium?
Why? What's your plan? No, because they've got a really cool little local trader system where you click, I want to sell for 5% above this exchange price, and then people bid for that, and they just contact you, and then you meet at, I don't know, somewhere and do the trade. So it's so you can look around your area.
I didn't know that they had this you do the offer and people contact you. Really, for me that's new. That's a new thing, and I will try to check it. One of the key things to have a platform working and choose in Buenos Aires is that they need to have not the official price of the dollar, but the black market price of the dollar. So actually, the only one, the best one doing this is BitPay, as they have their office down in Buenos Aires. And BitPay's API, it's being used by Bread Wallet, for example. And I think that perhaps Mycelium is also using their API for knowing the actual price in Argentina, because most of the apps that you see when you choose ARS, which is Argentinian peso, they just give a absolutely not real price of the Bitcoin in Argentina.
Yes. Really? Right.
Yes, because you need to use the black market price of the dollar, because when you buy a Bitcoin, you have a dollar eventually, and you can send it to USA. So that's something that most of the apps just don't understand, because they are not there, or they haven't talked with the local community. So Bread Wallet is I love Bread Wallet, and it's a good app, yes, for Argentinians. We use it a lot. And Mycelium, I know that some use or several use Mycelium, but I haven't heard about them using this option of setting a value and waiting someone to bid on it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I used it a few like a couple of months ago, because needed to pay some rent, so yeah, that's really handy.
Okay, that's nice. Well, and so as we were saying, I'm working on these two things, and then I'm also working on two. One is a startup called Amico, Amiko, which is like friend in Esperanto, and that's a loyalty program. And I'm also working on a project called Bitcoin Time Capsule, yes, which is a physical time capsule done by, which will host some Bitcoins inside, and we'll try to show, it's not a startup, it's just a marketing strategy, yes, a global marketing strategy to show that Bitcoin is not only, it's a good store of value, yes, for the 15 years from now, that Bitcoin is a smart asset, yes, whatever is sent there won't be able to be removed from there until 15 years later.
Wow,
Yes.
do you need 2.21 gigawatts to release it?
Yes, eventually. But I mean, it's like check locked, verify, the unlock verified.
Oh wow, that's
Something
fascinating.
like that, no?
So that's kind of the first use case.
Even if they steal the physical capsule, yes, they won't be able to steal the Bitcoins because they are already set to be released 15 years later.
Fantastic. How much are you guys putting in there?
Actually, the expectation is to put about $25,000, which is the price of 1 bar of gold of half an ounce, I think, something like that. Or I don't remember. No, half a pound, 1 kilo.
1 kilo. 1 kilo. Oh, nice.
Gold bar. Yes.
Oh, wow.
And I expect that in the future the price of the Bitcoin will have outperformed the price of the gold bar. Which
I love that.
The same price of the gold bar is the amount of Bitcoins that will be sent into it. No.
Yeah.
So.
Because that's been my big reason for starting Vaultoro, was to get the price calculated in gold instead of US dollars, and because I got into Bitcoin to get away from all this fiat nonsense.
Yes, actually, I never thought about talking with you, Josh, about this, but we should talk, because this is just something that it would be nice to be done. It's not something that I'm aiming to earn anything. It's just I would love to see this to occur. And as I was saying, it's showing in some way that the Bitcoin might outperform gold. I mean, that might be a better store of value than the universal best store of value that it's expected to be gold. That it's a smart contract, and that it's also a database, yes, because people will be able to send in information that will be hashed and encrypted, yes, with decryption that is inside the vault, inside the capsule. So just when it's open, you will be able to understand what's been sent into it. So it's actually like a time capsule. It's not physical stuff that's kept inside, but it's like digital.
And I think Tatiana needs to put her song in the time capsule. I would love to.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yes, I absolutely want to do it, but I won't be able to translate it into Spanish.
No, you should write a new song, and no one knows the song until 15 years later.
Yeah.
Now that would be pretty.
That would be great, and we will also. Be pretty cool. And the idea is also to keep some key players to say what they expect to be the society in the next 15 years, yes, and that to be open and to see who was nearer to their guests also, and stuff like that. So it's a fun project.
I wanted to interject with something, because there's a few things that were on my mind. Me and my girlfriend, we were thinking the other day, we're like, all right, it's going to be World War III soon. Where are we going to go? Where are we going to hide? And I said, I'm like, Argentina, Buenos Aires, that's where we have to go. The good-looking men, good steak, good wine, that's all we need.
Good meat.
Exactly. Oh, God. So anyway, so we were thinking about Argentina, but, Argentina's obviously had a lot of different financial problems. What do you think, Rodolfo, do you think that if the economy around the world is doing poorly, what do you think the uprising will be like in South America, do you think that it will be a more safe place because they're kind of used to things going crazy, or do you think that it'll be just as dangerous as other places?
Actually, whenever there's a crisis, it has to do with the ones that lead and manages the crisis. Yes, the outcome of the country. I mean, I don't know if it's only about our experience as having overcome a lot of crises that makes us much better than others to support something that happens. I think there's smart people everywhere, yes, and they can make good decisions to help any country to succeed on different crises. But I wouldn't say that it's South America or Argentina or any country better, more ready to do this. Actually, the actual government, yes, the one that's leaving, they did a much more self-protected country. Yes, they haven't. I mean, we paid all our debt with international creditors, or at least that's what it's been intended to say. Yes, so if something happens outside, but you are really working on pesos, you don't care about the dollar. I mean, it drops, okay, but you're all working on pesos inside. So we are like slightly protected from international crises. Yes, I think that will change, and changing also helps you grow and getting investment from outside. No, I mean, it helps you grow when things go well, but it's a problem if things go wrong.
What she's
outside.
asking
Yes.
is, have you got a bunker there, Rodolfo? Have you got? That's what she's really wanting to know. Are you stocked with
No.
wine? Are you stocked with wine?
Well, I want to know, am I going to
pineapples?
get like raped if I go down there and things get really
No.
crazy? I feel like it was a very civilized. I
No, it's
love
absolutely,
Buenos Aires.
at least Argentina. It's not. It's not. How do you say? I don't know. I mean, it's a safe place. Yes. I mean, you always read things from everywhere. No, I mean, stuff that things happen, but I think that's more or less the same at everywhere. No, I mean, I don't read it from United States, but you read people dying and shootings and rapes always. So, but I think it's a safe place in general, and you can walk by the streets easily without being concerned about much stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't worried when
It's a
I
very
was
nice
there.
place to be. I like it. You don't have nice beaches. That's the only big bad thing about Argentina. Yes, you don't have nice beaches to go, and we need to go to Brazil or Mexico to have nice beaches. But
This is the same thing that I've heard from like Jeff Berwick say is that, well, everyone talks how dangerous Mexico is and how dangerous this and that, but where he lives, it's all fine and dandy, and he goes, and he's very happy, and there's nothing really to feel scared about. So again, the media sort of blowing things out of proportion, and this propaganda of don't stay at home, don't travel, buy your Barbie dolls for your kids, and all this sort of stuff. I think a lot of the time, once people travel somewhere, they're like, wow. I mean, my sister went to Chile and was just loved it, absolutely loved it. Spent a lot of time there. And
you love Chile.
no, my sister did, and
Uh,
she did some work down there with some NGOs, and
that's why
yeah,
she didn't come to Buenos Aires. She will
yeah.
say Chile, Buenos Aires. Ooh.
As a person who has been to both, let me assure you that Buenos Aires it's much better than Chile. I love Chile. It's a beautiful country.
That's why we invite Tatiana so much.
Food is so bad. I don't know why. I couldn't get a normal meal. And then in Argentina, it was, full steak dinner with appetizers and dessert and wine for $20. It was wonderful. And
Well, that'll put a smile. If there's anything that'll put a smile on your face.
oh yeah,
Food.
good steak, right?
Yeah.
But it was very enjoyable. One of the things I was thinking about while we're talking also with Valtoro is in a country like Argentina, right? Because sometimes if the inflation is going crazy, people have to leave, and they can't leave because you know, they don't know how to get their money out.
Mhm.
Do you think that Vaultoro, because it's gold, would be a safer bet for certain people? I mean, is that kind of the point as well? Like, why would somebody
I
put their
think that
money into gold
as long as
instead of like why would somebody put their money into gold using Vaultoro instead of buying gold from somewhere else or a different way? And then why wouldn't they just keep it in Bitcoin?
Well, I
uh,
mean,
yes, Josh.
what I
This
would
is
say to that is that gold holding it can be dangerous. If you tell the wrong people, they can come and rob you, and you have it. Whereas the professional vaults that we use, I mean, they're top tier investment grade vaults. So no one's, unless you've got access to Oceans and his team of 11, um, uh, you're just not going to break in. But also, gold is a globally recognized store of value. It's been around for 3,000 years. People understand it's in their DNA. They understand it. And to be able to jump in and out of gold, back to Bitcoin and back to gold, using Bitcoin to spend, but using gold as the store of value, it makes this combination of Bitcoin and gold makes really, for me, the perfect money.
Mhm. Yes, I think that as long as going in and out from Valtoros, it's easy. Yes, it's a absolutely good way of moving the money around. I think it will be much easier than going around with pesos, and it will be much easier than going around with physical stuff. Yes, it all comes down to how much they trust in the in Valtoro. I mean, trust is the key of any value. Yes, if you don't trust, there's no value because you wouldn't invest in something that you don't trust. Yes,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
so trust and useful and utility for me are the two things of value. And utility means that if I need to change from Valtoro to Bitcoin again, and I can do it immediately. Okay, that's great. Now, if I need to wait 10 days to do that transaction or to receive the gold from one place to another and stuff like that, that reduces utility, so it
It
reduces
doesn't
value.
work.
And
Yeah.
so I think that Valtoro might be eventually a good tool. Yes. Then again, why people should trust more in Valtoro, in gold as a store of value than Bitcoin? Well, no, that depends on people. I don't know. Yes,
Yeah.
but
Yep. Well, I mean, I really think eventually Bitcoin will become stable, and this is the hope, this is the grand hope. But right now, I mean, we're seeing the price drop. Tatiana's sweating, and
No, it went
she,
up. We're at $360.30 right now. So I'm
oh,
less cranky than I was 10 minutes ago.
yeah, I
no,
I
359. Sorry.
a friend of mine got an Apple Watch or some sort of smartwatch or something, and he put the Bitcoin price on there. I said, "Are you mad?
No, no
Do you want to
way.
live in stress? Everyone's
Yeah.
going, oh, yeah.
It's,
I mean,
it's,
no way."
how long is he in Bitcoin? Since when?
He's been in Bitcoin for about 6 months. So it's not,
No,
he's
it's too young.
it's too young. That's what.
I'm here since 2011, and I've already gone through all this about being
Yeah,
every
yeah. We're
5 minutes checking the price.
we're like Mr. Bean on a roller coaster, just sitting there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but we did alive. We can't be checking the Bitcoin price and be suffering every 2 minutes.
Oh God, nightmare. Well, yeah, I think that's I really find it fascinating, the use case of Bitcoin, because everyone talks about Bitcoin in places like America or in parts of Europe like Germany, it's definitely got its use cases. I mean, I've been living on it for 2 years, and but really, where we really see a great use case is for these places that banks just haven't serviced properly, or there's corruption within the money supply, or something like that. Where these are the sort of vectors, the places that we need to, as a community, focus on. And I think, I really take my hat off to you, Rodolfo, for all the work you're doing, and it's sensational. And same goes for you, Tatiana, because it's the artists that also, and the culture that brings life and spirit to something as dry as money.
Well, that's I'll be talking about artists and bitcoins down in South America. All right, I guess it's not really South America, Mexico, still North America.
But we just
We're not going to quibble about those little geographical
we all
lines.
speak Spanish. We're all like,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I get to practice my Spanish. It's questionable at best, but I sort of pick up on it as I'm there. Maybe Josh will make it to Mexico next year. Rodolfo, are you going to an Acapulco? We're all debating.
no, I guess I won't because I will be on vacations with my
Oh, you could
family.
be vacationing with your favorite favorite
Yeah,
Bitcoiners because you haven't had enough of us throughout the rest of the year.
actually, next year I might because next year I have plans to go to Mexico to come down to Mexico with my family,
Very
but not this year.
Okay, cool. So, guys, I think it's time to wrap up. I'm really glad that everybody was able to make it onto the show. Rodolfo, can you tell us one more time a little bit more where people can find you? If anybody wants to participate in a conference, where do they go? How do
Okay, well,
they connect?
they need to go to laBITconf, laBITconf, yes, .com. They can just register there. And I also added the hashtag that we're using for bidding for the Bitcoin comic. Yes, it's bid for Bitcoin comic. And
Do
just
it,
remember,
folks.
it's been hand signed by over 100 Bitcoin pioneers and most of the initial ones also. So it's a huge gift to. It's a huge thing to keep under your in your house as a value stuff. Yes, I think it would be
I
great to
think
have
it's
it.
going to be much more valuable as time goes on. I think it's grossly undervalued right now. The
It
top
is
bid
an
is 3 Bitcoin. That's
amazing.
nothing.
It's
Saturday is the last day to bid for it.
it's an amazing investment, honestly, folks. It's I would get your wallets out because, I hear these stories of people buying just like some like special edition whiskey for like $300 and thinking, whoa, $300, that's insane. And then 2 years later, they sell it for 3,000. So something like this, which has really got the names of the big names in Bitcoin
There will
from the
never
start.
be another one
No,
signed by so many people. I mean, all this stuff that Juan Llanos did about the multi-signature project, we call it,
yep.
of going around the world, making the book being signed. It actually went to over 20 countries, yes, to make the book get signed by so many people. It's something that it will never happen again. I mean, I think no one will have the guts and the wheels to do this again.
Yeah, and it's
So,
for a good
so it
cause.
will.
So it's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win.
Do
Mhm.
people get to write it off, do you think? Is it a tax deductible donation for bidding since it's going to BitGive? I wonder.
Yeah.
Stuffing the bet.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah.
here
If
for.
that
Yes,
makes
yes,
people
I
bid, yeah,
declare.
sure. Just mail us after you want the. Yeah.
Well, I want that book. I'm a little bummed out. I saw one at one of the conferences, and he wanted me to get Ross Ulbricht to sign it, but I was like, he's like, can you just bring it in? I'm like, no, you can't bring anything into the prison. So maybe one day we'll get him to sign too. But so far, I think we've got an amazing list of people.
It would be
And
great to the one who gets the book. Actually, the initial one who got the book is Roselo from Coinbeer in Brazil, and he redonated the book. Yes,
wow,
under the promise that we would get it signed by many people, and now he's also again willing to bid for it. Yes,
What a
so
man,
so
what a man.
what it would be
generous
great
guy.
is people willing to keep this running and keep the book being signed for more people, even if it's being even if they want the book. No, I mean it would be great to have the book going around and being always signed by more people. Yes, and eventually it invest that money as an investment as a donation, but they are the owners of the book, something like that.
Yeah,
What a
well, it was
beautiful
very
man.
nice of him to give it back, and I'm sure that Connie and the team over at BitGive are doing well. Actually, Elizabeth Plochet just joined them. I don't know if you guys knew that, but Elizabeth's a good friend of mine. She's been working with Connie for a very long time. So that team of two women is just dynamite, and they have a really great board. I know that Dawn from NetKey is on their board, Elise Colleen, the venture capitalist, I'll see later on today here in Los Angeles. So they've got a lot of good people behind the team. I know Matt Rozak's been doing a lot as well. Josh, where can people find out more about you and the adventures of Voltoro?
Well, they just head over to Voltoro.com or on Twitter @Voltoro, and yeah, Joshua @Voltoro if they want to email me at Voltoro.com. So yeah, I'm everywhere and anywhere.
Okay. Well, hopefully you could come to New Year's. I'm trying to get everybody out to New York for New Year's. But okay, so everybody, thanks very much for tuning in. I thought about this the other day. I have a Christmas album, like a holiday record, available for sale at TatianaMoroz.com. If you go to the Tatiana store, it's called For the New Year. It's actually a really beautiful compilation of a few different songs that I did. And you can pay for it not just with Tatiana coin, which is of course there, but you can also pay with Bitcoin and dollars and stuff. And if anybody needs anything advertising media related for Bitcoin, call me, cryptomediahub.com. Thank you very much to Liberty.me for hosting us. Hello to my LTB audience. Remember, your magic word was laBITconf. We'll see you guys. I don't think we'll see you next week because I'll be in Mexico, but I will probably be doing a special episode with Lynn Ulbricht, who's been very sick, and we're going to give you guys some updates. They're doing a really cool art project, so we'll talk about that next time. And please check back on the schedule at TatianaMoroz.com. Thank you, everybody. Peace out. Have a great day. And
thanks to Connie Cunha for a lot of organization in the background.
Oh, yes. Everybody. Awesome. Peace out. Bye, everybody. Bye, Rodolfo. Bye, Josh.
Bye-bye.